Hi everyone. So we're going to start today by reading this text here titled, it's an excerpt of The Suffragists from Tea Parties to Prison. So if you saw in the above this, you'll see that you can click on this little link and so you can open it bigger if you'd like, or of course you can look here, whatever's easiest for you. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to answer this question. I'm just going to slowly scroll, and as I'm slowly scrolling, I want you to think about what is something you notice and you wonder about this text. If you don't want to watch my scrolling, feel free to go open up your tab, your other PDF of this document, and you can think about what you notice and wonder there. So I'm going to scroll slowly, think about one notice and one wondering. Okay, so if I was scrolling too fast, you can either pause the video or again, go look at that PDF. So now you're going to tell me something you notice and something you wonder. Go. All right, good. Now that you are done with that, now what I would like for you to do is we are going to read it. So if you can just follow along with me as I'm reading it, your next question you're going to be asked is, what is the gist? So as I'm reading, you need to be thinking, what is the gist? Here we go. So again, the title is Excerpt of the Suffragists from Tea Parties to Prison. So as you can see, it's kind of set up in a play, kind of like Divided Loyalties, but we'll see what it is as we keep going. Gluck. Before the prison part, can you describe more what happened with the picketing? Were you harassed while you were picketing? Kettler. We were terribly harassed. There were always men and women standing out there harassing us and throwing some pretty bad insults, and pretty obscene ones. Gluck. The women too? Kettler. The women weren't obscene, but the men were quite obscene. During that period, somebody shot right through the open windows of the little white house of the headquarters. Could have killed any woman that happened to be in the right position for it, and we couldn't get police protection. We just couldn't get it. The police, as I said, left us alone. But when the crowd got too noisy and the police couldn't get rid of them, then they hauled us in for obstructing traffic. Gluck. How large a crowd would gather every day? Kettler. I don't remember, but it seemed pretty big to me. Gluck. Of the people passing by, were they all hostile? Did you get any support? Kettler. We had some support, but you took life in your hands. If any of the bystanders supported us, they could be beaten by the rest of the crowd. Gluck. How did you handle the bystanders? Did you just ignore them? Kettler. We just ignored them. These were our instructions. Just absolutely pay no attention to them. Then, towards the end, I know they started throwing stuff at the women. We had no police protection whatsoever. Absolutely none. The only protection we had, laughter, was when we were arrested, and then we were protected. Gluck. How did you feel about this? Were you pretty frightened? Kettler. Oh, I was brave. My goodness, I was fighting for a cause. I didn't pay attention to them. Gluck. How did it work? Did the 4 people stand there all day, or did someone come in? Kettler. I don't remember. We probably must have had shifts. I don't think that we were there all day. I think we were there so many hours. We did have shifts. What did Doris Stevens say about it? Do you recall? You know, I had 2 books and I gave them both away. I'm like that when I value a thing very much, and I value a friendship. I give what I value. Later in the interview. Gluck. So, you were picketing a couple of days then, before the arrest? Kettler. I don't really know how long I picketed. I cannot tell you that. I do not remember. On one of the picketing days, the police hauled us in and took us to jail. Gluck. When you were arrested, were the 4 of you in one van when they took you off? Kettler. I suppose so. Or one car, whatever it was. All 4 of us would be arrested at one time. Immediately, the lawyer or somebody was sent to the city jail to bail us out. Gluck. So you weren't really in a jail for very long when you were first arrested? Kettler: No, we were probably there for an hour. We were bailed out right away, and then we appeared in court. Gluck: How long did you have to wait for your trial to come up then? Kettler: I don't remember, but it wasn't very long. After all, they, the NWP, had to board us, and that cost money. But they really got a lot of money. They got a lot of contributions. Gluck: Once you knew you were going to be going to jail, how did you feel? Kettler: I already knew. As I said, I knew it when I was in New York because Catherine told me. She said, you might go to jail. You might be arrested. I said, that's all right. But I could not have gone again to jail. Okay, so if you need to reread this to yourself, you can go and open the PDF and reread it one more time, or you can just rewind and rewatch this clip one more time and listen to it again. So now what you're going to tell me is, what is the gist of this text? What is it mostly about? Go. All right, good. So we know from what we've read so far and what we've learned is that Kettler seems to be a suffragist, right? Because she was one of the women who were arrested at the White House, which we read about on Friday in that other article. And you know that she was arrested for picketing, holding up the signs in protest at the White House. All right, good. So your next question is, from this text, who do you think these people are? Who is Kettler and who is Gluck? I'm going to ask this in two different questions. So who do you think Kettler is and who do you think Gluck is? Here we go. Who do you think Kettler is? Go. All right, good. And who do you think Gluck is? Go. All right, good. So hopefully you got something along the lines that Gluck was the person who was interviewing Kettler. So Gluck is possibly a reporter of some sort. And then Kettler is the suffragist, okay, a woman who was fighting for her right to vote. All right, great. So this was actually an interview with a suffragist right here. And her name was Ernestine Hara Kettler. And she was one of the women who was picketing the White House with Alice Paul, which we read about on Friday. And it's just a quick interview with her about how it was and what it was like when she got arrested and all of that stuff. So thanks for listening. Thanks for paying attention. I'll see you for this next part of this lesson.